Hi, I'm Margarita Romano. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm from Puente de Vida. And today I want to talk to you about something very important, mental health. May is the month of mental health awareness. So it's a beautiful opportunity for all of us to take a moment and think about what is mental health? How can I take care of my mental health? How can I prevent myself to get in a situation that is gonna be very stressful for me or for my loved ones? For all our family of Route 91, remember that Vegas Strong Resilience Center has so many options of places that can provide free mental health counseling for you and your family members, your loved ones. All right, well, what is mental health? The CDC gives us the definition that mental health includes our emotional, psychological, physiological, and social well-being. It affects the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we act. It also has to do how we react or how we respond to stressful situations, and that we're able to make healthy and positive choices for my life. So it's very important that we understand that mental health is not just one thing, but it implies kind of everything in my life. How I respond to things, how I think about the situation that is happening, how am I feeling, and how am I gonna behave, what's gonna be my actions about it. Mental health is as important as your physical health. We are very used to checking in, like, how are you? And our automatic answer is, I'm fine, I'm well. And then we stop and think, are you really fine today? Are you really feeling okay? Physiologically or physically, we can answer, yes, I don't have a headache, or I don't have a stomach problem. But not necessarily doesn't mean that something is going on. So every time we go to the doctor to do a wellness check, they assess and they check everything. How's my blood pressure? How is my, in general, how am I doing? How am I feeling? Am I sleeping okay? Am I eating okay? How am I feeling physically? So the same way, it's important that we check in our feelings, our thought process. How am I feeling with myself today? How am I feeling okay? Do I feel overwhelmed? Do I feel exhausted? Some of the things that we need to check in on a daily basis is, how am I feeling? How am I doing today? So it's important that we take care of both areas, the physiologically and the psychologically, as well as our social, emotional areas. That way, when we go to school, when we go to work, we are well functioning in all the areas of my life. Our mental health can change over time. We're not the same person that we were a year ago, 2 years ago, or when we were little. Our previous life experiences shape the way we respond to things. So it's important that maybe something that happened to me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it didn't affect me at that moment, but now over time, because more things has been happening to me, now I do feel affected by that. An example would be everybody or all the survivors that were at Route 91 concert that night of October 1st, 2017, that has not asked for help yet. Maybe nothing was happening back then, maybe they feel okay, but maybe now, 4 years after, almost 5 years, now they're starting to feel some anxiety, some depression, some things that are affecting on a day basis. So it's important that you always do that check-in of, how am I feeling today? And I'm not the same person that I was a couple of years ago, and I'm not gonna be the same person in the future. We are always changing. Our mental health is not something that is just one thing and that's it. It's constantly changing and moving, because every day we are changing. Every day we have dynamics going on that can change the way we behave, the way we feel, or we perceive everything around us. As same as a person can be healthy, we can also get sick. Wellness is the absence of sickness. So it's important that we realize that we also can get sick at any given time. We are not immune for any disease, physically or mentally. Some of the factors that can cause a mental illness is maybe I suffer from a traumatic event that has affected me. So trauma is a big factor that can develop a mental illness. Also, biologically, genetic, we can have an imbalance in our chemistry of the brain, and for that we will need a doctor that will prescribe medicine that will help us get back in a balanced brain activity, in a brain chemistry that we can feel better with ourselves. Another factor could be the use of substance, drug or alcohol. It's important that we make sure that we are taking control of our life and not that the substance are controlling ourselves. And something else could also cause isolation. All these factors, one or the combination of all the factors, can affect my mental health, my general well-being. Mental health in our children are very important that we take into consideration. We sometimes focus more like on adults, on the problems that we're suffering on a daily day, and maybe we don't take the time that as an adult I'm struggling with some things in my life, but also our children might be struggling with those things, and for them it could be a bigger situation because they don't have that perception that when you become an adult you can see things from different perspectives. From the child perspective, that's the only perspective they see. So it's important that we can model a positive way for us to handle, how to handle our emotions, how to handle our behaviors, how do we respond to those big feelings when that happens for our children. So it's extremely important that we take a look into our children's mental health. The pandemic has caused us to stop for about 1.5 years, 2 years. We stopped that social interaction, social stimulation that generates those social emotional skills in our children. So when we stopped, because we had to be isolated, some of the long effects, the side effects of that is the decrease of those skills in our children. So I'm gonna make a comparison. If we stop walking or moving your body for 1.5 years, eventually you're gonna have some atrophy in your bones, in your muscles, in some areas of your body because the lack of movement. So the same way our children weren't able to develop and continue working those skills, the social emotional. So now, after 2 years, they need to rehabilitate those skills that were stopped of growth. So it's important that we understand the need of our children to rehabilitate those skills, and maybe depending on the age that they were when the pandemic started, that's the age that we stop the growth for those skills in our children's life. Things that we teach them every day: sharing, caring, take turns, respect, be kind to others, validate others, be empathetic with others, and also they can take care of you. Those same skills, our children need to recover from that. The great thing about the marvelous thing about our bodies is the same way that we get sick, our bodies also has the capacity to get healed, to recuperate, to recover. So same as our physical, we get sick and then we recover, mentally or psychologically, we also can recover, we can rehabilitate. Our brain has that capacity through neuroplasticity that we can develop and recover the skills that were stopped of growth because of isolation. So now it's important that we can help them by continue growing social skills, social emotional, helping them, making those moments of self-awareness and how am I doing, how am I feeling, that as adults we model those skills to our children, and then we can help them and remember to ask for help. Thank you very much. Remember, Vegas Strong Resilience Center has so many options of different centers that can provide free mental health counseling services for you and your family. Thank you.